Why is this not the biggest story in the country? It's the IRS looking to monitor your bank account with no, warrants? Nothing. They just want access because they think they can't have anybody not paying taxes. But they're going to be going after the people who actually pay the most. That's the problem. I mean, this is such a breach of your privacy, your right to privacy. And that's like I just can't believe that more people are not talking about this. Why isn't this everywhere? Right? I mean, I get it. There are a lot of other stories to watch too, but do you realize that once you have the government in your bank account that you are never, ever getting them out? Ever. That it is there to stay forever. And then to be able to, how do you even facilitate something like that? Do you know how many people that you have to hire to even do something like this? How many people that you would have to hire? Now, there are some states who say they're not going to comply with this. Missouri and Arkansas, they said they're not complying with it. They said it's an overreach. They have to protect the privacy of their account holders. But Janet Yellen, she thinks, yes, it's going to fill the tax $7 trillion gap. Of course, this is the woman who says that the Soviet nominee that's heading up the Treasury or the comptroller of the currency, that person, even though they totally celebrate communism and communists, they deserve a fair hearing. I don't think so. Yellen had said it's just a way for the IRS to get a sense of where that might be, just some pieces of information about people's bank accounts. It's a direct quote. That's terrifying. So anything that's like credit or debit account, paychecks, money transfer, PayPal, all that stuff. Any transaction like $600 and more. No. Mm-mm. Y'all, we dumped tea in the harbor for less, and I'm not saying that to be flippant. There's no way. And you know that they will in some way find something that you've done wrong. They'll find something that you've done. That's the other thing too. Remember how I said we went through the math of all this. They could confiscate the wealth of everybody, and it still is not going to close the gap of their spending because they will not offset anything. And as Kane noted, as we talked last week, you know how many guns I have that are like over $600? How is that not a backdoor registry? Janet Yellen says, oh, well, it's not going to be collecting information about what you're purchasing. I don't believe you. Who the hell believes this? What do you mean you're not getting information about what it is people are purchasing? No one believes you. I don't think that the government can give us any assurances. They're not in any position to give us any assurances. It's so troubling and it's worrisome. And it's kind of shocking to me that more people aren't speaking out about this. I think some people on the right who weren't particularly pro-Trump, I honestly think that when they saw some big government moves and violations of privacy and complete ignoring of rule of law, like where it concerns FISA, et cetera, they were silent about all of this just because they didn't like Trump. And I think that kind of like laid the groundwork for one of the reasons as to why even people on the right aren't talking about this as much as they should be. This should be like the lead for every night on cable news. And any Republican that votes to pass this thing, I mean, I think that conservatives and Republicans should be in the streets over it. I mean, and people got to quit calling. And people have to quit worrying about what other people are going to think of them. It's extreme. It's extremist to want to be in other people's bank accounts and monitor their transactions. That's extremist.